You can now build this Porsche 911 RSR from Le Mans 2018, which qualified in pole position and finished second in the GTE Pro class. It was driven by Lietz, Bruni and Makowiecki, and this special Rothmans livery, it was there to celebrate 70 years anniversary of Porsche. The livery was previously worn by the Porsche 956, which won Le Mans in 1982 and 83, the Porsche 962, which won Le Mans in 1986 and 87, the Porsche 961, which didn't really win anything, but it's extremely rare, and the Group B rally car, the 911 SCRS from 1984, which had numerous victories throughout the 80s. I have improved the design of the car in several places compared to the model that I brought to Le Mans in 2018. Free building instructions for this improved model are found in the description below. And in this video I will focus on these improvements and 5 interesting building techniques that are related to them. At the end of this video I will also add some photos where you can see the car as it was back in 2018 at the circuit of Le Mans. First we have the updated nose. On the 911 with the standard livery, you can see the nose had to accommodate this red and also the grey line, and that is restricting how you can design the rest of the sections of the nose. So with the Rothmans livery, this whole section here is completely white, and that frees up which kind of parts you can use in order to model that section of the car. And in this case I used the opportunity to fine-tune how the model is made, where it has this design element that is very characteristic for the Porsche 911, and that is this almost smiling gap between the front bumper and this opening section right behind it. So that would be in a normal car would be the hood or the bonnet, but since it's a Porsche 911 it has the center mounted engine. So how did I do that? Well, I have a little mock-up of it. So there are 2 sections to this. That's the bumper section and the removable lid. So let's just separate the 2. In the bumper section I'm using these nice building on the side elements from Lego in order to make this half plate offset using headlight bricks. So if I take this out, you can see how I use headlight bricks here in order to make half a stud offset or half a plate offset, so that this curve here is made using half a plate offsets that still allow you to add these cheese slopes on top, and that gives you the bumper. The other part is requiring some new parts. So this section right here. Here we have, if I just separate it from the mount, how it looks underneath. So it's quite simple, right? I use the 1x2 plates with rounded ends in order to have this movable part where I can just shape the front bumper to get the smiling section. So it's almost cheating. This little place here has made so many things so much easier, but it's completely legal now, so of course I'm going to use it to my advantage. And in this case it gives you a nice line in the Porsche 911 RSR. The golden line extends from the headlight to the rear light. In the original model I failed to make this a continuous line, but in this final model it extends without interruptions. The trick behind this is to make sure that the golden line is the primary part of the design. So everything else needs to be molded around this line. It needs to be fixed, it needs to be there. Everything else just has to come on top. What this means in practice is that if we look at how this section right here is built as a little model, is that firstly I have the golden line which need to be here, and then everything else must just be mounted on top of it, or around it, below it, whatever. Just not interrupt the golden line. And in this case it means mounting the wheel well section as I have done right here. And it is quite a departure from the original section. So if you can bring them both into the picture, you can see here how I was so proud that I could use turnaround slopes and slopes in on this side right here in order to close the wheel well in the original design. But since the line that needs to go here has priority, it takes priority over closing the gaps that you have here, here, and yeah, of course the same on the other side, just so that I can see that we have this golden continuous line, and it even goes a bit up and down over the rear wheel, just like on the real car. Another interesting technique which relates to the golden line is how the small offsets are used instead of curved pieces. So this is a section of the bodywork right under the side window. You can see this section of the golden line is offset compared to the blue section of the bodywork. That way I get indications of a slope or a curve here on the side of the car. In the original design or in the standard bodywork, I actually use curved pieces here. So it really is curved right here, right below the side window. And that is again a trade-off. I can't make curved pieces with gold because gold doesn't really come in curved pieces in what I really want. So I use this in order to have a trade-off that actually works. So I get my indication of a curve or a curved shoulder line of the car, but also getting the right colors. In the roof of the car there's a new section. It's a special section that helps close the gap between this rear part of the roof and of course the front. And it sits right here where I'm pointing right now. And it looks like this if you build it or take it out. And what's special about this is that I turn the direction of building to be sideways, and then I use a combination of cheese slope and normal tiles in order to close the gap between this part of the bodywork and the other one here. That way I get a very thin line here between. And the final interesting building technique that I want to show is related to that. That is how this section right here is mounted. So you have the rear window, which is not really a window, but now you know what I'm talking about, is mounted on a axle right here. And it's also the axle that I'm using to indicate the this little colored circle, which is blue on the Rothmans livery car and yellow on the standard car. Here we have the section that is hinged, but in order to give you the transition between this section right here and the roof, I've added another very thin section that just has a smaller angle. So that is achieved by just having hinges like that and just turning them so that the angle is just between what you see in the back of the car and the roof of the car. And as I said before, with this section right here, it fits in perfectly like that. And here you can see how the combination of tiles and cheese wedges on this second line is fitting in with how the turnable section here actually is, because you can see it's not a flat surface. So that is how this section is made, and the cheese section or the fancy section right here is also made like this in order to be stable, so that if you push the car from here, then it doesn't fall out, it stays in place. Here are some pictures from Le Mans of 2018 where I brought the Lego model to the track. So Porsche really stole the show in the GTE Pro class that year, because they had huge banners on the side of buildings and the anniversary liveries on the cars celebrating the 70-year anniversary, and they had even decorated the garage. So If you looked into the garages of the number 91 and 92 cars, they look old-fashioned with stone walls and wooden furniture. It was amazing to see, especially compared to what everybody else had brought to the track. Access to the track was unfortunately very limited in 2018. We were only allowed to go to the Dunlop Bridge and then back to the pit exit. It is a shame considering how there had been so much more access the previous years, but not for 2018. So, if you enjoy model presentation videos like this, then please tell me in the comments below. You are allowed to share this video as you like, and the building instructions are, as always, completely free. Consider following me on Patreon if you want to see my latest updates on everything that I'm doing with LEGO. You do not have to pay anything to follow, and you can just follow there as if it was a blog. Otherwise, take care and see you next time.